today I posted a video of me and my boyfriend, and so many of the comments, every single time I post him, which we've been together for a year, but without fail, every single time I post him, all of the comments are about how I'm ran through, and oh, look, another one, or he probably doesn't know how ran through she is, or just mean things.
But it's not about her. They're using her, they're weaponizing her and her image, and what, they're like, look, ladies, if you don't want to end up like her, don't do what she did. And what did she do? Divorce her fucking husband.
And so many people are so angry. They're so angry that I am not with my ex anymore. And he's in a happy relationship. Why can't I be in one too? And I was 21 when I met him on Bumble, and 10 months after knowing him, I was pregnant with our daughter. And he gave me the two best things in my life, and I will forever be grateful for that. But when I met him, I was 21, he was 30.
This is why you don't date 21-year-olds when you're 30 plus. This is a mass gaslighting campaign, dude. A massive gaslighting campaign being executed by the manosphere. Only men weaponize people's vulnerabilities against them. I'm telling you, I've never seen a woman do it. I see men do it publicly all the time. I never see women do it. I see men do it every day publicly. I never see women do it. Never. So that's why, I never believe you. I never believe y'all, dude. I never believe y'all. I never believe men. I don't validate men's feelings for a reason. Y'all think I be playing. I'm so serious. I can't validate men's feelings because men are so manipulative and men are master manipulators. And there is a massive gaslighting campaign right now surrounding Bobbi Althoff. Massive. Mind you, before we get into this, I want to preface everything that I'm saying with this. I'm not a Bobbi Althoff fan. I don't consume her content. I watched it a few times, like when she first started. I didn't like it. I didn't like the vibes. I'll be perfectly honest. Just so everybody knows, like, this ain't me. Like, I'm like fanboying or some shit like that. I'm not down on that woman. I don't got no beef with her. Her content just isn't for me, right? She's way younger. She's fucking like 20 years younger than me or some crazy, 15 years younger than me or something, right? Cool. It ain't for me. I saw her content. I didn't think anything of it. I thought it wasn't for me. Blah, 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 right? Now, being in what I do keep up with some of the stories surrounding her. And I remember when she got divorced. I remember the whole thing with Drake being in her bed or being in Drake's thing. I watched the interview. It was awkward, all that stuff. Yeah, but I wasn't in those people's relationship. I don't know what was going on. They could have been separated at that. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. I don't care. Right? But something just happened recently with her that I'm like, how are it's so funny that men keep doing this thing like over and over and over again, but claiming it's women. Like Darvo is like, men are just all in on Darvo, right? Reverse victimhood every single fucking day. Now all of a sudden, men are the victims. It's disgusting. But if you guys don't know, Bobbi Althoff, she has a podcast. As far as I know, she still does. She has a podcast. She interviews people, and she got divorced like a year ago, or over a year ago. And she has a young children. She's really young. She's 28 years old right now, right? And that's gonna come up later. But anyways, she has a boyfriend after over like a year of being divorced from her husband. And her boyfriend looks like an attractive dude. They said he was like a basketball player. Again, I don't know him. I don't recognize him, but he's an attractive young black man, right? Happy for her. They look cute together. I saw a little video of them, like like her launching him, as people would say. Then, it is what it is. The manosphere, it explodes, right? Like the manosphere does, like blows everything out of proportion that women do, because they don't women don't do shit. So they hyper fixate on these like Aisha Curry's and Jada Pinkett's and brick ladies, and you know what I'm saying? They just hyper fixate on these like situations where the people aren't like the women aren't perfect in the situation. I will say they did some some questionable things in some of these situations. I'm not even saying this about Bobbi. I'm just saying in general. They lump all these women in together, Cardi B's, whatever. But ultimately, if you know anything about any of these stories, they all have a common theme where the common theme is it's always a fucking man. At the core, there's a man. They were mad at Ro. They were mad at Brick Lady. Cool. She didn't get hit in the face with a brick. She got hit in the face though by a fucking grown man. That did happen. Oh, Jada Pinkett Smith, she had a situationship with her son's friend. That's terrible. I disagree with that part. But calling her a cheater, wrong. Will Smith was a cheater. They were in an open relationship. They came on the podcast and said it. Will Smith was actually the cheater, not Jada Pinkett. So you're wrong. It's a man. The man was worse. Who was the worst? Who did the worst thing in these scenarios? The man. The man. But since the women didn't, do absolutely nothing, then now we gotta fucking hear about it, right? And in their minds, they're taking Bobbi Althoff. They're doing the same thing with Bobbi Althoff. Now that she has a fucking boyfriend after being divorced. Well, the divorce is the issue, and we'll talk about that right now. But now that she has a boyfriend, we got to demonize her. She's a whore. She's a slut. She's a freak. Got a different nigga every day of the week, right? That's where we're at with her. Shit is ridiculous. This is what I'm talking about when I say that men weaponize women's vulnerabilities. Because look at her, listen to her. Listen to what she is saying that the men are saying to her. And tell me that men don't weaponize women's vulnerabilities.
Okay, I hate to make a video like this because it's embarrassing, and I know that I'm gonna see this a month from now and be like, why did you post that? And also posting this shows that I care, and I know some people feed off of saying hurtful things to like get a reaction, but today I posted a video of me and my boyfriend, and so many of the comments every single time I post him, which we've been together for a year, but without fail, every single time I post him, all of the comments are about how I'm ran through, and oh, look, another one, or he probably doesn't know how ran through she is, or just mean things. And and if I post any video truly in general, the amount of hate comments I get are just like unreal. And I think it's because I have a lot of men following me, and they just have so much to say. They have so many mean things to say. And as much as I wish that these comments didn't get to me, it's like, I'm human, and if you got this many negative things said about you every day, it would get to you too. And I don't even know what the point of, I don't want sympathy from people. I'm saying this because
Mind you, the men are attacking her because she represents something to these men. It's not even about her. They're triangulating, right? Because men collectively are fucking narcissistic. As a collective, men are narcissistic. As a whole, men are narcissistic. I'm not saying every man is narcissistic, but as a group, men are narcissistic as fuck. And this is a narc tack of triangulation. They're using her, that she's the poster child, but it's not about her. They're using her, they're weaponizing her and her image, and they're like, look, ladies, if you don't want to end up like her, don't do what she did. And what did she do? Divorce her fucking husband. That's all she did. All she had to do was divorce her husband. And look at the ire these men have for her.
I hope if you're one of the people who hate me, maybe you'll watch this and reconsider it. And maybe that's asking for too much. Maybe that's an impossible ask, but it's like, you're
talking to soulless beings. They don't care. So I'm just gonna tell you that they don't care. But I'm still glad she made this video. I'm glad she made this video because I'm gonna weaponize this against these fucking dumbass men to show how men actually are the ones who kick women when they're down. See what I'm saying? They're the ones who are doing that. Not women don't do that shit. Weaponizing her tears, her vulnerabilities against her. That's what men are doing.
As a people pleaser, having so many people be so mean to me online every day is so frustrating, and it's just, I wish I didn't care, but I've definitely stopped posting as much because all of my comments are just so mean. People are so mean to me on the internet, and it's like, what? Because they say I sleep with every guest, and it's like, literally, I do not, but you won't ever believe that, and maybe if I were ugly, you would not even say that. Because I tried to tell myself those don't matter, but it's like, then I'm a horrible mother, and it's like, I am such a good mother. Anyone who knows me in real life knows I'm an amazing mother, and my kids I care so much about, and that's another part of it that really gets me, is like, one day my kids are gonna be old enough to read these comments, and it's just like, I wish people weren't so mean. So grateful for this job because I make a lot of money to post myself on the internet, to film videos, and it has given me and my kids a really great life. But sometimes it's like, especially harder, like on Sundays I don't have my kids, they're with their dad, and
On Sundays, she doesn't have her kids. So she got these babies 6 days a week. On Sundays. Ain't that what she said? Hold on, let me go back. Let me make sure.
like, especially harder, like on Sundays I don't have my kids, they're with their dad, and
On Sundays. So she has the babies for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 6 days a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Hold on. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. She got her kids 6 days a week. Remember that, because they was trying to tear her down, calling her a bad mother. She got the baby 6 days a week. Fuck out of here.
and I get to sit here and I read comments and I shouldn't, but it's like, it's so hurtful. And so many people are so angry. They're so angry that I am not with my ex anymore. And he's in a happy relationship. Why can't I be in one too? And yeah, our relationship didn't work out. Like, newsflash, you guys. I was 21 when I met him on Bumble, and 10 months after knowing him, I was pregnant with our daughter. And he gave me the two best things in my life, and I will forever be grateful for that. But when I met him, I was 21, he was 30. Look at 21-year-olds now, and I'm like, you're so young, you're so young. Like, how did I think I was old enough to be so grown? Anyway, it's just embarrassing, I guess. Like, I feel embarrassed by all of the comments because it's just like, I don't know why people are so mean. I mean, I do, but it's just like, I wish it would stop, but I don't.
So this is exactly why men need to shut the fuck up about choose better. Because this is when the choose better should pop up. This is when you say choose better, right? For the ex-husband. Choose better. Not to say she was a bad person, because that's not what it is at all. But she just alluded to what the problem was. I just made a video on TikTok. I got some bad information. It said that she met the dude or said they got married when she was 20. But anyways, so her ex-husband met her when she was 21 years old. This is why you don't date 21-year-olds when you're fucking 30 plus. Because they don't know themselves. They don't know themselves. They don't know themselves. You shouldn't sleep with them. You shouldn't date nothing because you can get them pregnant. Not to say that that man was looking for a 21-year-old to marry. I'm not saying he was or he wasn't. Probably was, but I'm not even saying it. What I'm saying is, as a 30-year-old, you know what you were like at 21. You know good and goddamn well you were in no place to be married at 21 years old. So if you're a 30-year-old man dating a 21-year-old woman and you get her pregnant, meaning you slept with her, so you chose to sleep with a 21-year-old and you're 30 years old, and then it doesn't work out, I don't want to hear you fucking say shit about it. I don't want to hear it. She wanted to leave him to have a hot girl summer and did. And did. And I'm okay with that because she was 21 when they met. That's what happens when you date 21-year-olds. That's what happens when you impregnate 21-year-olds. And that's what happens when you marry 21-year-olds and you're fucking 30. That's why most people wait till they're 30 years old to get married. There's a reason why. We're not getting married at 21. The brain's still smooth as shit. That woman didn't know. That woman didn't even have a fucking job at 21. She didn't know what the fuck, who the fuck she was at 21 years old. No clue. At best, she was in college. You chose to marry her. Choose better. Y'all don't like holding men accountable for shit. Y'all run around these apps all day telling women to choose better for picking abusive men. But when a 30-year-old man marries a 21-year-old woman, y'all don't tell the man choose better. Wicked work. Watch the reverse victimhood. Watch the triangulation.
So Bobbi Althoff just made this video of her crying, talking about how every single time she posts her boyfriend, most of the comments are just like talking about how she's ran through and, calling her, what slurs, because of the whole situation that she did with like her, previous boyfriend.
What whole situation? What whole situation do you speak of? Y'all, that's stupid. But I remember she didn't do shit with her ex-boyfriend. What the fuck are you talking about?
Previous boyfriend. And to this, I would say, duh, that's like Chris Brown, saying that it's annoying that every time that he leaves a comment about something, he gets something about how like he's hit women. Or if like a dude who is a celebrity, cheats on his wife, and then all of the comments every single time bring up how he cheats on his wife. Like, ma'am, you made a very public decision. You were somebody who originally had a very stereotypical, relationship, very traditional in the sense that she had, her husband that she's been with for a long time prior to her being famous. You started to get wrapped up in the fame because your fame grew up very quickly. And then even while you were in a relationship, you were doing very sus things. Like you're doing an interview with Drake when you're like in his bed, and the whole interaction seemed extremely strange. And then it seems very obvious, very evident that you chose like the fame and the fast life over like the, your family. And like,
hey, men do that all the time. And I don't see no videos from you looks maxing fucking groypers. I don't see shit from you looks maxing cat boy groypers, where the fuck y'all are. I don't hear y'all talking about all the men that do that, first and foremost. Secondly, that's not even what happened. That's not even what happened. Again, remember, she was a 21-year-old woman marrying a 30-year-old man. She grew up. He was closer to who but they were married for a good amount of time, six years. Now he's 36. He wasn't some completely different person at 36 than he was at 30. He was probably really close to what he was because he was fucking 30 years old. But she was completely different. She became a mother and she grew up a lot. And that's why she left him. That's why she left him. Now, also, this is the whole thing about the thing in my mind. So men be saying the quiet part out loud all the time. Essentially, in the minds of men, a woman divorcing a man is the same as a man who beats on a woman or cheats on a woman. All three of those things are the same according to him and according to most men. That is the reverse victimhood, that the Darva. Because in their minds, a woman leaving a man is abusive to the man. Men actually are trying to sell us on this idea that a divorce exists in a vacuum. Divorces exist in a vacuum. right? They're trying to make us believe that women are just leaving men simply for their own happiness, which is the most logical reason to divorce a person. If not for your own happiness, then what? Why wouldn't you divorce a person for your happiness? That doesn't make any sense. So you're acknowledging that a woman is in a relationship with a man and she is unhappy and unfulfilled. I wonder whose fault is that the majority of the time. I wonder if it has anything to do with the fucking man she's with. Maybe she should leave him. Sounds about right, right? Cool. So she leaves him. Cause and effect. But when she leaves him, the only part they care about is she's leaving him for her happiness and that she left him. So it's a vacuum. There's nothing else that exists outside of that. It's not as if the woman was more than likely abused before she left the man or neglected or whatever the case may be before she left the man. No, 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 no. She just left him for her own happiness. That's what it boils down to. Again, as if that in and of itself is a bad thing. Like, that's not even a bad thing. Yeah, I fully expect my wife to leave me for herself, without a doubt. Then they're trying to make it seem like she's not a good mother. She has the babies 6 days a week. So when you say, oh, she broke up her family, she didn't. She still has the family. She got the kids. That's the family. It's her and her kids. They're only not with her for 1 day of the week. How did she break up the family? She got rid of that man because that man wasn't serving her. That man wasn't good for her. That women divorcing men is not abusive. And I got a news flash for you. Women withholding their bodies, not abusive. They don't owe you their bodies. They don't owe you their fucking labor. This is a mass gaslighting campaign, dude. A massive gaslighting campaign being executed by the manosphere. And they're using all of these women to triangulate, using them in a triangulation scheme against other women. Oh, y'all want to be like them? Aisha Curry comes out and says what, see, Bobbi Althoff left her husband. Aisha Curry is talking about it. She's just saying how she feels unfulfilled. Now, I don't know if I believe that Aisha Curry is unfulfilled and it has nothing to do with Steph Curry, right? Bobbi Althoff, I think that she felt unfulfilled and it had a lot to do with her husband. I don't think she left her husband. I think her husband wasn't doing enough for her. And he was, you know what I'm saying? To me, that would be my guess. So they're in different boats in that field. But in my estimation, they both were and are unfulfilled in their marriages, right? But one of them, Steph and Aisha, Steph is not the problem. Steph isn't a part of the problem. Steph and Aisha are the same age. He didn't groom her. He didn't manipulate her. None of that stuff. They both got married young. And that also is again, it's showing up again. See how that can be problematic? Now she's 35 years old or whatever. And she's like, damn, where did my life go? All I've known for the last 13 or 14 years is being a wife and a mother. My husband is great, thank goodness, but I still feel unfulfilled. Y'all chopped their fucking head off. Bobbi Althoff, similar situation, except for probably the husband was also contributing to the problem. So she leaves the husband, chops her fucking head off. Women, you don't want to be like them. Every single time a woman is vulnerable, men weaponize it and try to use it to harm her and the other, and to make an example out of her so that other women will be deterred from those same actions. They don't want women divorcing evil men. They don't want women divorcing neglectful men. They don't want women leaving men who aren't fulfilling the women. Because they will be leaving, because that's like 90% of men. Most of y'all aren't fulfilling your wives. Most of us aren't fulfilling, not doing enough, not showing up enough. Most of us aren't. And you know that. And that's what this is all about.
And like obviously now when people see you and like you're putting your boyfriend and stuff online, it's a reminder of like, oh yeah, that's the girl that like when we first met her, she had like the husband and kids. And it's one of those things where it's like if you're really so happy with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, whatever, then like what is this thing that like you need people on the internet to come and like extra validate it for you? Like I get like wanting to post a picture, but it's like if people are gonna leave comments because of something you did in your past that's like, pretty evident, then like obviously. I'm just so sick whether it's a female influencer, a male influencer, of celebrities who make their bed and then they come on the internet and they're like complaining and crying about how they have to lie in it. Moral of the story is if you don't want comments like that, let's make the correct decisions and not choose rappers and wealth over your family.
She is wealthy. You see how stupid this is? She's wealthy. She doesn't need anybody's money. So you're mad because this might be racist, by the way. Him, I don't know. He looks weird. That comment might have been racist because what does his profession have to do with anything? She's a celebrity. She's dating another celebrity. She already married a regular dude. That shit didn't work out. Now she's a celeb. She's in the celebrity circles. She's dating another celebrity. What the fuck is the problem? Y'all, you guys can't. And lastly, you cannot articulate what she did that was actually wrong and how it harmed anybody. How the fuck is she Chris Brown all of a sudden? How the fuck is she a cheater all of a sudden? Because she did an interview with Drake? How does that make? Because you guys say she's sleeping with dudes and she's like, men are the messiest bitches on the internet. Messy as fuck. Everything men say is an admission to guilt. Every single time. Women gossip. Look at you gossiping. You don't have one shred of evidence. Nothing. Just all hyperbole. All assumptions in your windows. That's it. You have no evidence and you are publicly admonishing this woman like the rest of you fucking weirdos that are going on her post and doing. But she's the problem? This shit is crazy. Men as a collective are narcissists. As a collective. When we get together, because capitalism, racism, and the patriarchy are narcissistic. They're narc systems. And men as a class are narcissistic. And that's why you find a whole boatload of men yapping like this motherfucker. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.